Now, for those of you who are running Linux, I'd like to show you the basic process for getting up and running with Java. Again, if you're not running Linux, you can skip this module. I've already shown you how to install the environment on Windows as well as Mac OS. But if you're running Linux, I'm here in Ubuntu version 14 desktop. It's the 64-bit version. And what I'm going to be doing here, I know that I told you you can use gedit, and you certainly can use gedit as your text editor. But I just found out that there is a port of Notepad++ called Notepad QQ, which is supposed to run on Linux. And you can find the source code on GitHub, but I'm here on sourceforge.net, where it's showing me installation instructions. I can either download a Debian package, so you can see here, download a deb package from the Ubuntu PPA, or I can do some official packages here using this repository, which is what I would prefer to do. So all you need to do, if you're wanting to use Notepad QQ, which is a port of Notepad++, here in Linux is to search for Notepad QQ on SourceForge. And then once you find it, you can follow along with these steps here. Again, what I'm going to be attempting to do here is to add the repository and install it using the terminal. So I've opened up a terminal window here. I already searched for Notepad QQ, and it was not there. And so what I'm going to do now is add this repository. Okay. Enter to continue. There we go. Very nice. Then we just need to update and install Notepad QQ. So sudo apt-get update. That operation usually just takes a few moments, shouldn't take too long. And then we'll try the install command and hopefully find our package. It should be there now that we've added this repository. So while it's doing that, I just wanted to say, you can use the built-in text editor that comes with Ubuntu, if in fact that's what you're using. There's nothing wrong with using the built-in text editor. In fact, it is going to become aware if you're running a Java file, you're editing a Java file. For example, let me go ahead and open up this test Java file that I made. So you can see here that in gedit, it does color code everything, but you don't have some of the nicer features I was thinking that you did. You don't have the lines over here to let you know exactly what line you're on. Now, of course, you have it down here at the bottom. It's going to tell you what line you're on, but it's kind of convenient to see it over here on the left. And you really don't have the support with brackets that Notepad QQ offers. So those are just a few of the reasons that I would recommend Notepad QQ. So now what we're going to do here is we are going to see if Notepad QQ is available for download. Sudo apt-get install Notepad QQ. I'm guessing this is probably pretty familiar to you if you have used Linux before. You're used to working in the terminal more than likely. And if not, then I would just strongly recommend you follow along with my Windows videos. But again, assuming that you're using Linux, you're understanding what I'm doing here, and that's why I'm not going in to explain it. So you can see that the package was found, and now what we're doing is getting it all set up, including any dependencies, and we should now be able to run Notepad QQ. See if that works. Error, failed to load driver. Okay, it did load up though. So I got some libgl errors down here. But the program did load up. You're using an old version of Qt. Notepad QQ will try to do its best, but some things will not work properly. Install a new version from the official repositories. There we go, and install. Okay, awesome. So you can choose whether or not you want to do this. I'm not going to do it because I'm not going to be using Linux as my primary development environment. If you encounter any errors, then that is definitely an update that you will want to do. Okay, but now here we are, and you can see that everything functions and looks and will operate just exactly like in Windows or Mac OS. In fact, I'm just going to take this code over here, I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to paste it over to Notepad QQ. To install the JDK in Ubuntu Linux, and again, the process may be different in different distributions of Linux. I'll trust that you understand your distribution well enough to know how to install programs, how to find programs using yum or using apt-get, depending upon your distribution. Again, in Ubuntu Linux, we're going to use sudo apt-get install default-jdk. Okay, and you'll see it right here. Just click Y or input Y for yes, and then enter. And this will install the JDK, which will give us access to Java C and the Java command as well. The development includes the runtime environment, which is what enables you to use Java. So the development kit gives you access to Java C, the Java compiler, and it has a Java runtime environment built in. So you'll be able to use Java as well as the Java C command. Okay, so once this is done, I'll show you exactly what we're going to do. It's going to be done in just a moment. So let me open up our source directory again, so I can show this to you step by step. We have our source directory, and then we'll want Notepad QQ, which we installed. All right, so here's Notepad QQ. So we want to open that up. And again, the JDK is installing right now. Okay, and once it's done, we'll use that terminal window and I will show you exactly how to run a Java program. I'm going to make this a little bit larger. And what I'm going to do is open up our test.java file. All right, so now you can see our test.java file that I've created in Notepad QQ. You can see the source directory and the JDK just finished installing. So what we're going to do here is simply navigate to our SRC folder. We're already in our home directory, and so I just went into the SRC directory. And what we can do here is we can type ls. You can see test.java's in there. And we simply run javac and then test.java. Same as on Windows or Mac OS, it's going to compile the program and we can then run Java and test. It will display Linux is cool, which is exactly what our program did. So now using this, you can follow right along with my Windows instructions. You've got your SRC folder, your terminal, we've installed the JDK and Notepad QQ. Remembering that you can use any other text editor that you want, but Notepad QQ is really awesome. I just found out that it existed and it is a port of Notepad++. So you'll really be able to follow right along with what we're doing.